So we look from the top of the head first, and you can see that the eye line is looking nice and straight ahead. A couple things as well for balance, so the arms held out nice in front and at shoulder height, which is going to help with balance as well. Feet here, nice and shoulder width apart, and we can see that they're really nicely lined up with each other. So that's also going to really help with balance. Another thing we can look at is the toes and the way the feet are. So they're slightly turned out, which is going to help with balance. They could be turned out a slight bit more, but again, that's probably what's going to feel comfortable for her. If we start the squat coming down, everything's looking really good. Eye line is still coming forward, arms also still out straight. Down in the bottom phase here, a couple things we can look at. So we've already noted that the eye line's still looking forward, as well as the arms. We can look at flexion, so flexion of the ankles, the knees, and the hips. Everything's bending really nicely, so what we can also look at is, for example, the knee here is not coming over the line of the toes, so everything's staying really nice and straight, tracking perfectly. If we look front on as well, we can actually also see that the knees aren't bowing inwards, they're still tracking along the toes perfectly and really nicely as well. If we look at the back, also looking really nice and straight, so there's no excessive curve throughout this part of the spine here in the lumbar. We've got, again, we can look at the angle of the knee here as well, so we can see that the knee is actually looking pretty quite angular at almost 90 degrees. Coming back up into the finishing phase of the squat, eye line still looking really nice and forward. Here we are, so again, finishing off arms straight, eyes forward. We can also see that there is the torso still staying nice and straight, which also means that there's no excessive curvature to the spine, so she's not hyperextending through there, and she's also finishing off in correct positioning.